Hey, what's up, you guys? You're watching Team APS. Paul here.
I'm Chris.
I'm Cortez Johnson.
He's Calvin. And today we're going to give you guys 5 tips to save money while you play Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, because everybody plays on a budget.
And this game's expensive.
I'll take that back. Most of us play on a budget. Some people don't.
Yeah, so,
Some people just swim with money.
So these are tips that will help you make better use of the money that you spend on Yu-Gi-Oh! And maybe just decrease the amount of money that you spend on Yu-Gi-Oh! So first tip, I will start us off, is try before you buy.
Yes.
There's lots of ways of doing it.
There is.
There are a lot. There's a lot of, you can obviously
online. Online is the quickest way. As long as you have some type of internet.
Yeah, Yugioh Pro, Dueling Book, those all work well.
You remember Dueling Network was a thing?
I do remember Dueling Network.
I like Dueling
Network.
I love Dueling Network.
And the best part about these is, you have access to everything. It's not like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games where, you unlock stuff. You can literally just use cards.
But Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games do not help you.
Yeah.
There was one, we'll talk about that later.
But, yeah, definitely use, Yugioh Pro. These resources are available. It's very easy to get on Dueling Book and just build infinite numbers of decks.
And also, this is going to come out in the future because they already have access to the cards. So you know about what you might play later on in life, too.
Plus, you can, try different variants on things without, I want a tech evenly matched in here. I can just try it out online before I spend however much on each copy of it.
Another way of trying, essentially, you go to a big locals with a lot of nice people, borrow cards.
Yeah. If you have a friend group, it's great. We're going to YCS Columbus this weekend. We're all borrowing cards from each other.
Borrow a lot of cards.
Make friends and borrow cards. Trust me, it's a good idea.
It saves you a lot of money, too.
Because then you get to use the people who do spend a lot of money on cards and just get the cards from them.
Using is bad.
Yeah.
Using is good.
Also,
you can proxy.
Proxy.
It's kind of an older method, right?
That's one of the older methods where it's kind of tedious, but it's essentially you're making
Treating
the cards.
You're making the cards.
You can't play in tournament with those though.
Yeah. So there's always somebody who's like, "Can you use these in tournaments?" I'm just like, "No."
Yeah, somebody always asks, "Can you proxy?"
And I think for our last one, if you're ready to buy the cheap versions. A lot of cards have been reprinted a lot.
Yeah, that's a good kind of sort of way to try before you buy. It's don't invest in the ultimate rare.
Just get lowest rarity, so you like it. If it does work out, then invest to the higher one later on in life.
Now, another tip is staples versus archetypes specifically. So Yu-Gi-Oh's got what are called staples. They're basically just the cards that you will be running between mini decks. They can be main deck stuff, and nowadays I guess the extra deck would be considered
staples.
Extra deck, hand traps.
Yeah, the hand traps, all that
like
stuff, draw power and spell trap removal, negation. Spend more money on that stuff. If you're going to spend money at all, I think you should spend more money on that stuff, right?
Yeah, because you're going to always need it. Like we said, you play, if you're one of the people, you play different decks, and a lot of those decks play the same monsters in the extra deck. Invest more into that stuff because down the line, that stuff is going to be...
It'll hold value a lot.
The generic cards will keep relevance for way more seasons. So
meanwhile, monsters come and go. It's archetypes. It's like a revolving door, right? We're about to get thunder dragons, and old stuff is kind of just getting crept out.
Generic stuff like Firewall, Borlo, those generic monsters like that,
they're worth
still be around.
Much better investments, to be completely honest.
Of course, especially when Yu-Gi-Oh introduces new game mechanics, for instance, Link. You got your set Link monsters that you need to have.
Yeah, that's the Borloads, the Firewalls. Those are the cards.
Your nightmare cards, things like that.
Sometimes that's when the staples go up too, Scapegoat.
Scapegoat.
Links come out and suddenly Scapegoat's really good.
Yeah, and then of course, like you said, your hand traps and things like that. In a game where every deck plays a hand trap, just about.
Yeah.
Having your effect veilers, your ash blossoms.
It goes a much longer way.
Ghost Ogre has been played for a while now.
Oh, yeah,
it comes and goes, and just like a fake Veiler, they come and go.
Yeah, Veiler left and came right back.
Yeah.
Having that stuff is great. Especially when you get the high rarity versions of it.
Yeah.
That stuff's gonna always have value.
Yeah.
So down the line, if you buy
there's
it now,
ultimate copies of stuff from
you buy ultimate Veilers back then, they're worth just about what they were now.
Right.
So things like that, those are good investments to make, and they'll save you money and possibly make you money in the long run.
Yeah,
because you're not buying it every format.
Another tip, consider what level of play that you intend to kind of do with Yu-Gi-Oh. This is a big problem. You know, I know a lot of people complain about like, why are these cards so expensive? But if you ask me, if you're playing locally, like just locally or just kind of with a small group of friends, there's no reason to buy, you know, like
and
a lot of
honestly,
cards.
playing locally based on what's being played at your locals, it'll completely change what you play in your deck. So some cards you wouldn't even have to invest in.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to buy like, you know, Ash Blossoms or Evenly Matched. If it's just you and your friends, maybe it's more fun to play without them.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you're traveling to regionals and YCS events,
spend money to invest, and you get in hotels and gotta pay gas to go to these places.
Yeah.
right? Like if you're trying to take it to the top, right? Like you're trying to top these events and win, and
It's perfectly fine to
then
get those
it
cards.
makes more sense. You need those cards to compete. There aren't substitutes for Evenly Matched. There aren't substitutes for Ash. But if
Then
it's-
they just about become like almost staples. Like you
Yeah.
have to have these to counteract against the other top tier decks.
but if it's just locals, just kind of around, you know,
Unless your locals is that competitive.
which there are,
Like that, because there are some I know.
Like
Like,
on Cali and stuff.
a lot of the top players go to the same locals and they're that competitive. But most of them have the stuff because they do travel and actually play. So
Another
it
tip.
kind of all balances out.
Buy singles. Do not buy sealed products.
Yes.
I feel like I'm always telling people this. Boxes are
It's true.
Boxes are a rip off a lot of the time.
Get it a dash.
It's
They're fun to open. Like there's a rush whenever you do pull something nice out of a box. You do pull that big secret rare.
But truthfully, you can get it by just buy the card,
Yeah.
and you guarantee that you get it. You don't have to play the gambling game of like, will I pull the Alistair, the Madness thing out of this box of otherwise pretty garbage cards?
Why that is almost like gambling.
Bro,
I never thought about
buying
it.
packs is
Yeah.
it's the same as loot boxes in video games. That's a different video.
Yeah,
It's a different video. It's all gambling. It's all gambling.
and so you can like save yourself time that way too. Because if you have to buy like 3 or 4 boxes to get like the one card you were looking for, you just paid like $200 when you just needed like one.
And then still
Thing.
end up having to buy the other stuff for the deck because
Yeah.
you didn't pull it off.
It's not
just a
all-
waste.
Or you buy 3 boxes and you need a playset or something. You only pull one of it.
Related note: trade up. Try to trade your cards instead of buying new cards. Like, you know, it's like a rotating door of archetypes. If you kind of know that an archetype is about to get, either you predict it'll get banned or you just know new stuff is coming out, trade your old stuff. Don't
Yeah.
like spend more money on another, you know, playset of $100 card.
Because you never really know who wants what from what you have. So you can usually trade for something that you need.
And one thing I noticed that every time something new comes out, there's always somebody who wants that old stuff.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
I feel like if you can ever
I'm using
make
that guy.
use of the old cards, it goes so much further.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to figure out a way to make it work since now it's slightly cheaper, so they want to get the old stuff.
And it's under the radar a little bit.
And that kind of reminds me, for the last tip, pay attention to trends.
Yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh is, I know people like, you know, compared to the stock market, it's kind of like that. Cards, you know, prices fluctuate, decks come and go. You'll save a lot of money if you can see changes coming. If you know when a big deck is about to come out, or you know a ban list is slated to hit, or like, you know, you predict something will be reprinted, kind of make your purchases and your trades and your selling based on that.
Yeah.
You can honestly like save a lot of money that way. You can pick up cards before they become huge and relevant and spike up in price.
Oh, price spikes are real.
Yeah, price spikes and like market buyouts.
All
and
it takes is for one good player to play it and say, "Oh, this card is busted." Like,
Yeah, looking at future packs and what's gonna come out could help you save money because you know, okay, this something I want to play 4 months from now, and I know this card will be used in there.
Right, pick it
So
up
let me
now
go
while
ahead
it's like
and-
$2.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pick up this card right now while it's still cheap instead of
A lot.
waiting till then.
Yeah.
And then now the price on.
a lot of that comes from if you're playing the TCG, watch the OCG.
Yeah.
Like, pay attention to what they're playing.
And
What's
talk,
good over there?
talk. Like, be
Yeah.
involved at your, like, listen to the conversation. What are people kind of like, keep a finger on the pulse of it. You know what I mean? Like, what's coming out, what are people excited about, make your decisions based on that.
Because that also goes back to the first thing of if you own dueling book and stuff, you'll see a lot of the future stuff people are playing, so you kind of know what to look out for.
Yep.
Find those tech cards and pick them up while they're like $1, not $20.
Yeah, that's a big increase when you
Also,
talk about
watch more
20.
YouTube.
Like us. No one else but us. Only watch us.
Watch more Yugi too.
So yeah, those are tips. Those should help you save some money in Yu-Gi-Oh.
What's that? Oh, I can't say that.
And let you get more out of this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Essentially, because the last thing you want is to buy a deck and be tied into that deck because you can't sell it because the price went down.
Yeah, dump a bunch of money and find out you're not
You feel like
enjoying
we're
it.
wasting money. It's a horrible feeling.
Or spend a lot of money in a deck just not good.
So what about you guys? Do you guys have any tips that you would share with somebody who's just getting into the game? You know, how would they best use their money or save money? What should they buy, not buy? Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And a quick reminder for those who don't know.
Quick one.
YCS Columbus is this weekend.
Next weekend.
This coming weekend. Some weekend soon.
We don't know when this video coming out. It's sometime on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sometime after today.
Yeah, there we go.
And we're going to be at YCS Columbus. So if you want to meet us, all 6 of us actually. Everyone I think is going to be there.
We all have 2
Maybe.
personalities, so it's actually 3 of us, but it'll be 6 then.
Yeah, if you're there, come meet us, come say hello. We would love to, sign things or take pictures or all that stuff. It'll be great.
Signing, like, objects, not people. We're not signing people.
Yeah, I'm not signing nobody's child, okay?